And now, aviation weather around Alaska.
Flying weather for Tuesday morning. We've got quite a swath of IFR here from the northeast part of the state right on down along the Yukon River out to the southwest coast and into the Pribilof Islands there. IFR here along the Alaska Range and another zone for the North Gulf Coast into the northern Panhandle. For the afternoon hours, this area of IFR shifts northwestward here to the eastern Arctic coast, just about most of the Brooks Range there, southwestward, lifting north here to the Yukon Delta and the northern Bering Sea. Marginal VFR over the southwest mountains, some along the Alaska Range, and a narrow band here for the eastern Kenai Peninsula, North Gulf Coast into the northern Panhandle. And for the Wednesday morning time frame, we're looking at a break-in here. This area of IFR shifts out to the west a little bit there over the north and northwest Bering Sea, and then this one pretty much stays stationary there. Kobuk, Selawik Valley areas, Kotzebue northeastward to the Arctic coast, and then some areas of IFR here across southern Alaska and the eastern half of the Panhandle. IFR with marginal VFR to the west across the Gulf of Alaska into Kodiak Island. 4 passes, Anatuvik. IFR for the day tomorrow, as well as Adigan, Lake Clark, Merrill, and Rainy. All IFR in the forecast for Tuesday, as well as Windy and Isabel. Mentasta, though, looks more marginal, as does Tanita, Portage IFR, and Chilkoot and White IFR. Freezing levels here, warmer air in over the southeast coast, anywhere from 2,000 feet in the north to 6,000 feet down toward Prince of Wales Island area. And from there, going to the icing graphic here, with all the moisture coming in off the Pacific, kind of accumulating here over the interior. So a pretty good chance, or the best chance of seeing some moderate rime icing would be here from the northeast interior on down into the Yukon Delta. And from there, the jet stream, kind of several lows out here, one over the interior near the Alaska Range or about over Nenana, a couple more out here over the Bering Sea, and we've got southwest winds at 65 knots here into the northern Panhandle, stronger winds down into British Columbia, and jetbacks south of the western Aleutians out that way. 9,000 feet here, we've got northeast winds across the Chukchi Sea up to 60 knots there. Otherwise, not too bad here over the remainder of the Bering Sea. And a broad area of southwest winds, 45 to 55 knots here into the interior, especially the eastern interior here into the northern Panhandle. Taking a look at 3,000 feet. Pretty light variable winds here for the southeast coast. Easterlies, 75 knots there for the western Arctic coast, as well as Point Hope, Cape Lisburne, to about Kivalina there, and some of that stronger wind clipping St. Lawrence Island, at least on the west side. Otherwise, southwest winds here, 40 knots from the Alaska Peninsula across Bristol Bay, right up along the Chugach Mountains. And from there, taking a look at turbulence, quite an area of considerable moderate turbulence expected over the southeast interior, southwestward Kodiak Island there into the Alaska Peninsula, northeast Bristol Bay, as well as the central and southern Panhandle, and also up here for the western Brooks Range to the northwest coast, Point Lay on southwestward, Seward Peninsula, and St. Lawrence Island.